we're good, Madam Mayor.
I think we're open, right?
Yeah, we're gonna open.
So, Madam Mayor, resolved that as per section 152.4 of the Municipal Act, Council of the Rural Municipality, that St. Clements does now resume sitting of regular meeting.
Madam Mover, please, Councillor Orbis, Councillor Strang seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And if you want to bring our next resolution forward, and I believe we're on 6.1.
Yes, Madam Mayor, it's a contract award for the construction of the South St. Clements Activity Center. And what I'll be talking about, Madam Mayor, will be the overall process and what we went through. So I will go through the analysis presentation that's been prepared and it's on the agenda, as well as I just want to make a quick comment that the administrative comments that was originally published, there's been just a minor change of the numbers to make sure that they matched what the contract will be awarded for, from what was published on Friday to what has been updated as of today. So start off with, I'll start off with the PowerPoint on the contract for the South St. Clements Activity Center. So the Arm of St. Clements, South St. Clements Activity Center, we're looking at doing a contract award for the building that we did an RFP for somebody, for contractors to do it as a design build. To elaborate on this further, the Arm of St. Clements expressed an interest for the and community needs for a new activity center in the community. A preliminary design and Class C cost estimate in 2013 was provided. The project included site development. The project included site development and a building design to suit the required needs. Most of the site development, as you know, has already been constructed except for the building. That was done through the Guns Creek Diversion Project, and as part of the Guns Creek Diversion Project, we were able to add in most of the site amenities that are existing on site today. The cost for the proposed building structure at that time in 2013 was estimated, and as submitted to the province or the federal government, was for $6 million. And based on that, it wasn't feasible for the RM to do the construction without receiving further grant funding for the construction of the center. Therefore, Council applied for the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, known as the ISIP program, for funding and support in the amount of the construction. Council received, was successful in receiving the funds in 2023. In June of 2023, the Arm of St. Clements administration completed all the information required for the grant and submitted that back to the province and then back to the federal government. A project manager was hired shortly thereafter to act as on behalf of the municipality, and in order to do that, a request for proposal was posted and a successful candidate was Deco Consulting Limited. The project manager was tasked after being selected to do an RFP, which was RFP 2023-06, for the design, build, and delivery method for a tender that was sent out on August 2nd of 2023 with a closing date of September 13th, 2023. The intent of the design build was, considering that the original project was estimated at $6 million, was based on 2017 and 18 dollars. We weren't positive whether we'd be able to make it work without doing it in a design build project. After the review of the proposal, the request for proposals went out, and then the closing date was September 13th and at 3 p.m. And all bids were received and they were opened by several people in the room, with the CAO, project manager, and administration. All bids were opened at the same time and reviewed. We had a total of 5 bids, and they were from Peridium, Ernst Honch, Redan, Carrington Projects, and Counterattack. All 5 bids had pricing on them, and 2 were originally identified as the lowest bidders, with the very low bid identified, as well as the highest bid identified, and we felt it was important to do the review. And further estimate. Once we did the review of these packages and the estimates that were identified, we identified that there were different products and there were additions and add-ons as well as some value engineering already applied to these projects, which in order to do a proper review, we felt it was important to interview each one of these providers in order to get a proper apples-to-apples comparison for the products that were identified in the RFP. The valuation team conducted these interviews with the bidders and asked to provide further cost estimates or savings that were for anything that was added in or that was missing as part of not meeting the exact requirements of the RFP package. One of the bidders was, although they were higher bid, were also eliminated due to the fact that certain mandatory sections of the bid package were not completed. The four that were chosen were Peridium, Ernst Hodge, Bredan, and Canatech for further interviews. As the RFP document was detailed and it was a request that each bidder supply more information on the products that were identified in the RFP in order to provide proper comparisons. We asked them to do a specific pricing on any of the items that might have been done as a value engineering or a different design. Ernst Hodge was, as you saw on the previous slide, was the lowest bid at $4.6 million approximately, a little over $4.6 million. But none of the required products and specifications that were identified were included as they have applied a level of value engineering to their submission. It was decided to interview them anyways to see if their revised bid would be meeting those requirements. And after discussions and then submitting revised bid costs, their costs had increased to $5.8 million approximately, $5,843,611 to be exact, which identifies them not to be the lowest bidder. Although Peridium was also identified for the discussions, it was an opportunity to see if they could provide and look at providing any kind of, as many bidders had provided, alternate materials that met the requirements of the RFP. So a different product set that, we identified a specific type of span structure, and you could use something else, but as long as it met those requirements. And so since there was the most complete and accurate submission and it had every item that was identified in the RFP listed and detailed, we felt it was important to give them a chance to see if they were prepared to do a lower bid. The team determined it would be important to meet with them, and we did, and we discussed, and they submitted their submissions back as well. Now, Bredan Construction was one of the two top firms, along with Canatech. We did the review, and therefore the committee felt that we would interview them to further confirm what the products were and what was not, what was included and what wasn't included. Canatech was the second lowest bid overall, but also was a solid proposal, but they had some additions in there that we wanted to verify if those additions were removed, would they still be the lowest bid and they meet all the requirements. So further to that, evaluation results, the four construction companies were evaluated that therefore on a like-to-like basis. The two top companies were Bredan Construction and Canatech as being the two lowest bids based on the revised pricing, and reference checks were completed on both companies as a result of the information from the companies who hired them previously, and they both received very positive responses. The recommending bidder is considered Canatech. They had submitted a tendered price once corrected, because what they had included was a sprinklering system, which wasn't necessarily included in the other second lowest bidder. And so once we adjusted for that pricing, they came in at $4,876,870 as their base price, which is $1,123,130, about 18.72% less than the pre-tender estimate that we had of $6 million. So that was good news to receive. So as part of this, we've identified some of the next steps. So what we are recommending is the confirmation that Canotech Consulting is recommended as a successful contractor for the design build project, and a confirmation letter will be sent out to them once council approves the recommendation. The Arma St. Clements will arrange for publishing the formal contract award notice on the South St. Clements and Design project. As well, then we'll move on to the building. One of the things was that Canotech had identified the sprinkler system, and yet it wasn't identified in others, but we felt at the end of the day that the sprinkler system would make sense in the future because the building has been designed so that it can be made larger to accommodate further growth, and once the building gets larger, it will require sprinkler, so it's best to set that up initially. So although the building is not needed for this, what we're recommending that the sprinklers, we proceed with the installation of the sprinkler system. It's also recommended that the 8-inch well be constructed, which is already built into the price, to assurance that there's enough water requirements for the sprinkler system. Additionally, it's also recommended that one of the other items that was identified as part of the discussion was the wood floor, as opposed to the Tarcat flooring that was specifically identified. That was through the interviews that we did with products, and it has a longer lifespan and can be maintained better by stripping and sanding and refurbishing as necessary. Wood floors would be an extra cost of about $60,000. And that would take us to a total of $4,937 and $104 plus GST. A formal CCDC contract will have to be awarded for a design build, which has already been completed by our legal, and will be amended, and then the successful bidder will be provided the contract for award. Thank you, Madam Mayor. And as part of this, we have provided administrative comments that support this, and looking at the pricing and our report, and that aligns with this. So the base price for this product is $4,876,870, which includes the provincial sales tax. And then with the sprinkler system, which will be a cost of $303,422, and the upgrading to the floor system is $60,000 or $60,234. The total price will be $5,240,526 plus goods and services tax. Even with these add-ons, this is still the lowest bidder, as well as meeting all the requirements of the Arma St. Clements. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you for that. I'm going to open it up for questions from council. So go ahead, Councillor Boulanger.
Am I to understand that substantial completion is going to be around spring of 25, somewhere in there?
What we're looking at is completion by March of 2025, with substantial completion in June of 2025.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Just ask administration to explain the difference between cash allowance and contingency.
Contingency is the council allocates funds for the purposes in case of any unforeseen costs that may be associated with the project, and it's not part of the contract award, and these are the things that you may have to deal with that are outside of the design and the original design. The cash allowances are specific items that the contractor puts in there, and they give us pricing on those, such as putting in, changing the parking lot into asphalt as opposed to gravel. Maybe increasing or doing some add-ons. They may be added in as part of the cash allowances, and then identify the pricing for those cash allowances that are outside of the RFP.
So,
Go ahead,
in
Councillor
the tenders, like the performance bonds or the late penalties for late construction, is that all written in with the tender?
Good question, Councillor. We are looking at changing as part of the CCTC contract that we'll be signing for the design build with a contractor. We'll be identifying penalties for if it's not achieved substantial completion by June of 2025. As well, with penalties, there will be also bonuses to the contractor if they finish early. Thank you.
I have maybe not a question, maybe more of a comment. Once council moves forward and if the resolution is passed, we will be letting the public know that this is the route we're going and who the contractor is and when the project could be starting or when it may be completed. Are we gonna have that like in a, I don't know if I wanna say newsletter, but something on our website and put it out there so the residents know, because I know that some of them have been waiting for this project to get started for many, many years, so.
Yes, Madam Mayor. We will be looking at some initial, just immediate communication that's awarding the contract itself and identifying who the successful candidate is. The detailed communication has to be award of this contract at the beginning of the construction itself. That level of communication has to be filtered through the province and the federal government. So we will have to create a proper package of communication saying this is an ISAC project and we're delivering on this ISAC project and the dates and all that. We will prepare that material, submit it to the province. There's been some delays due to election. Now that the election's over, the province will review that material, send it over to the federal government, who will then, who are the major funders of this project, will then let us know that we can communicate in that fashion and then we'll put that up. There'll also be signs put up on the property identifying the project has started and how much money is being invested and who's funding it to what level.
And the contractor's name?
The contractor's name will be communicated as soon as
Well, he'll put up his own sign, I would think, eh?
They,
Is that part of the, does he have to put up his sign, see, or no?
we haven't identified that, but the contractor can negotiate to put their own sign up. We'll double check with the federal and provincial government when that's signed. But they will not be on the official sign, so these are like many of these
Yeah, no,
multi-level
I know,
government
but
signs.
Just a little 4x8 sheet.
Yes.
Whatever. And then with a number in case there's something that somebody has a problem, if there's somebody before or something.
Yes,
Maybe, yes.
and as I recall, there will also be a requirement for the contractor to make sure that the site is monitored and safety and security is taken care of.
So there's no way that they would start this fall with the foundation or nothing? No? Okay.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Okay, if we have a resolution prepared, if we can bring it forward and move this project forward.
Whereas the request for proposals was advertised on Works and on the municipal website to hire a design build construction firm for the South St. Clements Activity Center, and whereas the closing date is September 17, 2023, and 5 qualifying bids were received, and whereas after reviewing the proposals, conducting an analysis based on mandatory scoring categories and general evaluation scoring, conducting interviews and requesting further quotations for equal comparisons of the bid packages, and therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of St. Clements accepts the recommendations of the tender evaluation team and hire Canatech Consultants Limited to construct the South St. Clements Activity Center at a base price of $5,180,000 to $180,292, which includes provincial sales tax, and further be it resolved that Council accept the price for the sprinkler system for $303,422 and upgrading with the wood flooring in the gym at a price of $60,234, with the total price being $5,240,526 plus goods and services tax.
Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Deepak? I just gotta interrupt you, Debbie.
Yes.
Is it 4,876, 870?
No, yes, the bid price, sorry, the bid price should be
$876,870.
$4,876,870. Thank you, yes.
Okay, so that's the
So that's a
base
correction.
price.
The base price is $4,876,870. 870, it was in the decision paper, $4,876,870 for the bid price.
Okay. But
Base price.
the other dollar amounts that are in the resolution are correct, so the total is still the $5,240,526,000 plus GST?
Correct.
All right. Okay, so I would ask for a mover, please. Counselor Strang moves, Counselor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion on the resolution? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
So further to this, Madam Mayor, I would just like to comment that Victor Cruz, who's been hired as our project manager, owner's representative, and contract administrator, he's been here to answer the questions, and he's been doing an excellent job, and I just wanted to acknowledge the work that's been done to date. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for all your work.
Sounds like you're on top of everything.
Yeah.
So far.
Okay, so if we want to move on,
Thanks, Victor.
we are,
Thank you.
yeah, if you. Okay, so we will move on to communications for action, and the first one we have is the Interlake Tourism Awards.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Interlake Tourism Awards are being held at the Waters Golf and Country Club, and they're offering a table of 8. And the award ceremony, it's starting at 5 p.m. on October the 28th, on a Saturday. And it starts at 5, and at 6 p.m. With dinner and then the award ceremony at 7 p.m. They will have some music as part of the event, and we do have a representative being nominated as part of the awards.
So we need a table.
That would be up to council to decide. I don't know how many put down that they were
We should
going.
do a table.
A table, okay.
Yeah. Because we have for Brenna and everything.
Right, okay, so, yeah.
So we have a resolution for that.
Perfect.
So resolved, Mayor Feeble-Corn, Councilors Sutherland, Horbus, Strand, be authorized to attend the Interlake Tourism Awards at the Waters Golf and Country Club, St. Andrews, on October 28th, 2023.
Can we add further be resolved, we purchase a table for,
Table for 8.
Yeah, and further be it resolved that a table be purchased for a table of 8.
Okay, go ahead, Councilor Strang.
I know Brenna is getting her ticket and I believe 2 other ones for free, so we don't have
we
to
need
purchase.
additional for her, she gets 2 tickets. We need 1 addition.
Yeah, we're pick that.
Two
She was
tickets.
waiting. I thought they were gonna get rid of it. That's okay.
So we're shooting.
Yes, yes. Okay, so there's a number of us going, and so we're gonna get a table, and hopefully Brenna will be able to join us at the table, so. Okay, can I have a mover then, please? Councilor Borges, second. Councilor Strang, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, the next one is the Selkirk Inclusion Meet and Greet, which is this coming Friday at the Rec Center in Selkirk at 6:30. Did you have anybody other than myself wanting to attend? Okay, so if we could bring the resolution forward.
Sure. Resolved, Mayor Feeble-Corn be authorized to attend the Inclusion Selkirk Meet and Greet at the Selkirk Recreation Center, Selkirk, Manitoba, on October 13th, 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Spicer, Councilor Horbus seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. The next one we have is 8.3, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, and that's the Indigenous Awareness Training. And Councilor Horbus had asked a little while ago about like when is it and so on and so forth, but when I kind of looked at it, if you could maybe explain how it's working, because it's not specific times, it doesn't look like.
It's, I don't know a lot about this one, Madam Mayor.
I don't
Other
either.
than,
I looked into it and basically whoever wants to attend, they just sign up and they'll do it as on their own pace.
So you can log in whenever.
You can log in and do your.
You get an
24
invite
hours.
and then you just do it.
Well,
You have
the
to
way it
complete
says in
4
the
modules.
member advisory, it says the training program consists of the 4 modules, complete the course in 3 to 4 hours. Training is available online 24/7 at any location, anytime. So I guess you just have to log in, maybe they'll send you a login number once you register, and then you log in and you do your course.
so you do each one of the modules at your own pace.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, links and resources for in-depth and understanding and receive certificate of completion. So, I don't know why I put my name down, I'm not sure who else did.
There's several of them, Madam Mayor.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's bring that one forward then.
Resolved that Mayor Feeble-Corn and Councilors Horbus, Spicer, and Strang be authorized to attend the Indigenous Leadership Development Institute online Indigenous awareness training.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Boulanger, Councilor Sutherland seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, next we have the info session for, wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. John
This is
Q. Board,
information session,
yeah,
and that was originally identified for October 11th and 12th, and now has been changed to October 18th, I think.
why do I not see it now?
Right over here, Madam Mayor. So Wednesday, October 18th, and I'm thinking the other one is, they're only offering it on the same day, one
Right,
in the afternoon and the other in the evening.
yeah.
And so it's at the Canada and Pole Park. So if the council members are still all intending, the ones who are intending to go in the evening and the day, we could just change the resolution to go on the October the 18th. And we could just change the resolution just for all those council members to go on the 18th.
Yeah,
And then they can pick the afternoon or the evening.
right.
Okay, so. Resolved, Mayor Feeble-Corn and Councilor Strang, Spicer, and Belanger be authorized to attend the John Q. information session at the Canadians Polo Park on October 11th, or October 18th, 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Horbus, Councilor Strang seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, then we have the Sunrise School Division, I believe. They're having a meeting, an information meeting, and it is on our council day, so I'm not sure if anybody put an interest to attend that one, or if we're just receiving it as information.
This is right in the middle of our public hearing as part of our planning session, so I would recommend you just receive this information right now.
Okay, perfect. And the next one is the AMM, the grade crossings regulation webinar.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And they're setting up a grade crossing regulation seminar on railway crossings, and it's on November 9th, 2023, and November 10th in French. It's from 12:30 to 2 p.m., and it's through the Microsoft Teams meeting, if anyone was interested in attending.
Anybody interested? Go ahead, Councilor Spicer.
So I assume this is about upgrading any railway crossings. So wouldn't it make more sense to have Public Works involved with this?
I've already forwarded it over to our Director of Public Works for him to decide if he would like to attend and needs to attend. At this point, we don't have any specific crossings. We do have a train tracks where we have some uncontrolled crossings because it's not an active service track, but I thought if he was interested, he can attend. And if there was any council members, we'd love to welcome for you.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested, but I kind of forgetting that we don't have all that track along there that,
But I guess that's one of the things that we should have someone attend to
To
find out.
make sure that they're going to.
They're not going to ask us to upgrade those
I think I
tracks
thought
off
on
of
the
the K road.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's on here.
Well, I see on the resolution that we do have a couple of counselors who are interested in attending, so maybe if you don't mind attending, you can bring back the information for the rest of us.
It's a webinar, is it not?
Yes, it
Correct,
is.
it's a Teams
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
Resolve Councillors Orbis and Sutherland be authorized to attend the Association of Manitoba Municipalities Grade Crossing Regulations webinar on November 9th, 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, second. Counselor Spicer. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, and Selkirk Biz.
No,
Prompt
AMM's
payment,
prompt payment
yeah,
legislation
yeah.
webinar.
Okay, I'm
So-
not sure if anybody, did anybody put down for that one, Heather? Okay. Can we bring it forward then?
Certainly. Resolve Councillors Orbis and Spicer be authorized to attend the Association of Manitoba Municipalities Prompt Payment Legislation webinar on December 6th, 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Sutherland, Counselor Boulanger, seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, now we are at Selkirk Biz, and that is next Thursday, the 19th.
And they're having their business, the Biz Awards. And as part of that, what we have is, we've identified several people to be attending. If I can read the resolution, resolved, Mayor Feeblecorn and Councillor Sutherland, Boulanger, Strang, and Orbis be authorized to attend the Selkirk Biz 2023 Business Awards at the Selkirk Golf and Country Club, Selkirk, Manitoba, October 19th, 2023.
Can I have a mover? Counselor Strang, Counselor Sutherland, seconds. I'll open up the discussion, because I think I saw a couple of hands go up.
Yeah, I just seem to have a GMCC meeting, so I have to decide either I'll cancel, and go to that or
Oh,
to.
yeah, so do I.
And you both want to go to the Biz Awards too?
No,
Well, I
well-
can, Dave, I missed the last GMCC, I can go to that if you wanna go to this, Dave. Okay,
Okay.
okay, I'll go to the GMCC, because I missed the last one, so I'll do that,
Thank you.
no problem, anything for you.
And Heather, did you want to say something?
No, but I'm gonna just update the resolution to David.
Okay, and Counselor Strang?
I would just like to know, do we have anybody coming forward for
Well,
our?
I was going to bring that up because we got this invitation and we had nothing before this. So I was going to see if administration could possibly phone or contact the new, Alice, the new, I guess, executive director for Selkirk Biz, and see how they chose the people for these awards or how that worked. Okay, Heather, did you find that out? Because I know
Well, I
I kind
quickly looked this morning, so there wouldn't be a final list yet.
of, okay.
And we have until today if we wish to nominate.
But we didn't
business.
get anything to.
But no, but I went to the nomination
Right.
section.
Right,
So if we wanted to, we could, but other than that, there's no list yet.
okay.
Who did we nominate last year? Trying to remember. Okay.
I'm not sure who we nominated, but I know that one year during COVID, Gaffers won an award.
Was last year that, oh, what's that name of that family? She's got almost like a bed and breakfast. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I thought she won. She's got a retreat. Just
She won?
Just on one of these gravel
I don't
roads
think she's
here.
No,
Um,
okay.
Yeah.
Can't remember the last name.
May I suggest that we can discuss this in camera?
Yeah, we can talk about it a little later. That was in 2020 that I have the note here still. Okay, so we'll leave this and I guess we can pass the resolution to attend, and it's just if we have any nominations. So I think we read the resolution. Do I have a mover and a seconder, Heather? Okay, so all that is left is to call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. The next one we have is our next R meeting, which is in the RM of Taché on November the 5th, I believe,
Second.
2nd. So I'm not sure, I see we have another speaker on that one, so if we could bring that forward, please.
Resolve Mayor Feeblecorn, Councillor Sutherland, Ambassador Roach, and Orbis be authorized to attend the Association of Rural Municipalities meeting at Landmark Kinsman Community Center, Armatache, on November 2nd, 2020.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second. Councillor Spicer, all those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, new and other business.
So this is in relation to the AMM Fall Convention. The RCMP are inviting various municipalities to attend and meet with them. If you are attending at the, and just to give them notice in advance. What we're looking at is, it's for information for council at this point. When we make a determination, we can decide that we intend to meet with the RCMP division internally anyways, and have regular meetings with them, so we'll look at doing that for the coming winter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and usually they're pretty busy and well, now this year it's in Brandon, but I know lots of times when AMM is in Winnipeg, they seem to meet with the municipalities that are further outside the city so that they have an opportunity to meet with the RCMP, whereas we're close and we can arrange a meeting with the RCMP anytime, so. So we'll just take that one as information. Manitoba Good Roads, life member nomination and honorary member nomination. I'm not sure if anybody's come up with any names, but maybe we can discuss this one in camera also to see if we can come up with any names.
Sure, Mayor, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So the next item is, the other business is just information on the chronology of events and activities that have been happening with the Municipal Silica Sand Advisory Committee, which is a combination of multiple municipalities that have been working together. What we wanted to do is post it into our agenda for today, and after council has received this information, we can then put it up on our website and make sure our residents are aware of what's been happening and how the municipalities have been working together to deal with the issues of protecting our groundwater.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Okay.
Hearing and seeing none, we can move forward to snow clearing for the municipal office.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is for selection of gellers for the snow clearing. They've gone up approximately from $1,155 to $1,200 per month for a snow clearing for our purposes. So what we're doing is recommending proceeding forward. We did go out to tender, as you may recall, last year, and there wasn't much of a response for anybody else bidding for it. We're recommending that the CAO be authorized to accept the service proposal from Gunners. The only thing that I wanted to add to this is that we'll probably have to negotiate with them separately to also do some of the work around the daycare as necessary.
That was gonna be my question.
I'll move it.
I'll pass the resolution.
Yep.
Or I'll read the resolution, I'll pass it. Thank you. Resolve CRB authorized to accept the service proposal of Gellers Enterprise at an annual cost of $6,000 plus taxes to provide snow clearing services for the municipal office walkways, entrances, and wheelchair access.
Okay, moved by Councillor Horvath, second Councillor Spicer. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing, oh, go ahead, Councillor Strang, sorry.
Is this something that we renew it every year, right?
Correct.
So should we be sending a tender out every year? Like, you didn't have any interest last year, but this year you may have?
We can look at doing a tender every year if necessary. It's a good point. We'll look at it for next year if you like.
This is costly.
Okay, I have a mover, I have a seconder. If there are no further questions, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. The next one we have is 9.5, a development agreement.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this was the Minsky development that there was a subdivision occurring, and the developer received this. They agreed to all the items as identified by council, and the subdivision is ready to be, the development agreement is ready to be signed. And so this is just an approval from council for the CAO and the mayor to execute the agreement.
Okay. Any questions or comments? If we have a resolution, we can bring it forward then.
Whereas the Rural Municipality of St. Clements conditionally approved subdivision S21-2907 on January 26, 2022, and whereas condition 2 of the conditional approval letter requires that the developer enter into a development agreement with the Rural Municipality of St. Clements, and further be it resolved that the mayor and chief administrative officer execute the agreement.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Strang seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, I think we have one more under this aired section, 9.6, the electronic speed sign, and that was an addition from this morning. And Councillor Strang, I'm not sure if you want to speak to that or if you were needing some further information.
I guess one of the things, I was on my way to an event, actually I've driven by it a few times. First of all, it's not working. We only have one of them. I think maybe that's something that council, we should look at investing in another, so we're coming from both directions, not we just have from one way. But when I've driven by there, it is just flashing with the little white flashing square at the bottom, and I asked Councillor Spicer this morning and he said it's still, I guess the thing is, do we get an update? Is there a report? How long does it stay in the area? I know there was a bad tragedy happened there.
Correct.
For the families.
And there was a problem with the sign itself. We had some electrical issues with the sign, that it wasn't working properly. And so Public Works was working with the sign company to get that fixed. I understand that the sign is getting fixed or has already been fixed. But the sign, unless you're speeding, doesn't show you a stop speed. It only shows when you're speeding.
Oh.
There's a certain limit that you have to be over before the sign flashes the amount.
There's one on Main Street by where that candle factory is, and I know when I come through there, if I'm just doing the speed limit, nothing comes on. But if I speed up, it'll show the number that it's at, and then it'll go to a different color.
And there are the ones in East St. Paul that some people take a look at, which are showing your speed all the time, but those aren't those mobile speed signs. That's a separate kind of sign that they have set up. And yes, we are looking at getting an additional one as we begin to get more and more requests for putting up speed signs in the various areas of the community.
Well, it's like, 'cause we bought that back in 2021, so it is nice to see it finally being used, but that's why, is there a program? Who looks after Public Works or Bylaw?
Public Works.
Oh,
I thought
And Bylaw is working with them.
when they introduced that, they said there's a printout for it.
Yes.
Yep.
And how long does it stay in that certain area?
At this point, this particular area, we looked at putting it up there for several months, and then we would look at bringing it back down south in some areas that have been identified.
I just know we've had requests previously, and we've talked about it in council before, so, no, it's good to see it being used, but I thought, well, we should get another one for the other side, so we're only measuring people going through the one way, so.
I've already made the request to Public Works, and Bylaw, Tyler's going to be working with them to see if we can.
And then will we get an update or a reading or whatever?
When we go to purchase, we have to bring it back to council anyways. But I will do an update on it. That's fine.
Go ahead, Councillor Boulanger.
In my view, this sign is way too small. It looks like a postage stamp sitting there. I've driven by it numerous times, and it's so small. To me, it's when you're driving around that curve, you don't even see it. Like, we purchased that sign, correct? So do they come in, like, are you given options when you buy these things from this to this, like?
There are limitations on the size of the signs. Also, locating them on that location on provincial roads requires approval of provincial roads. The bigger the sign gets,
Okay.
the more of a restriction as to where it can be placed, because it can be seen as an
And
interference.
also, it's right in the curve. To me, the reason I didn't see it right away was because I was focusing on turning my vehicle into the curve. I wasn't really, like, when you're going to that curve, you gotta concentrate. You're not, it should be just prior to that, before you get to the curve, but it's right in the curve.
We did take a look at putting in the before, and there were comments to move it closer to the curb because people were noticing the sign there. So it's,
Rich, you're gonna slow down
So we'll
before
look
you
at-
get to the
yes.
curb,
it's a good
right?
point.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at moving it.
I'm focusing on turning my car into the curb. I'm not looking like this to the right to see that sign. Like, you're looking at the curb, and you're looking at oncoming traffic. My eyes are looking at that, not at the ditch. If I was driving at it from the south, if it was further south, I'm gonna see it right away, because it's right there, and I'm driving a straight line. Just saying.
I have one question too. I know you say it's not working or it only shows speeds if you're speeding. Is it still recording information?
It is still recording information.
Okay, that might help. Even though you can't see how fast you're going because you are going under the speed limit, but it might help if we have that information.
Part of that presentation, when we first purchased it, we talked about that it records the information even though it doesn't flash.
See, and I guess the only one that I can think of that I go by, not on a regular basis, but more than anywhere else, is one on Provencher Boulevard as you're going downtown. And that shows your speed all the time, like you are now going so many clicks an hour because it is a slower zone there. And it flashes your speed whether you're going under or over the speed limit, it flashes it.
Yeah. They have the same type on Anderson for going to east.
Okay.
But those are different types of signs, yes.
Yeah, see, and maybe that's something that we might have to get Public Works to look at, is different kinds of signs and what they do, because I would just as soon have it give you your speed whether you're speeding or not.
I like that, because it reminds me, holy shit, I'm over it.
Well, then it flashes when you're over, like the
Yeah.
whole speed thing
Yeah,
flashes.
yeah.
Is there a price, do they offer that? Does that company?
We'll have to take a look at that and come back and report on those.
And it should be, as Rob says, before we purchase one, maybe get something a little bit bigger that,
Just a little bit, but
or look at, let us have a look at the sizes, because I guess we've got the cheapest one possibly, I don't know, it doesn't matter, it's already purchased, but for the second one, we should. And if we can get one that, I know you say a different type, it shows your speed, whether you're under or over,
Yeah.
we should look at those options.
Yeah.
Definitely get one a little bit bigger, I think.
I'll
Well,
put
then-
this on the next month's agenda, or next month's agenda.
I think why you're saying that too is because it's over in the ditch. It's moved over, like, it's not right up, the ones at East St. Paul, they're
But that was
right
a-
there.
But that was a requirement of the province. And the ones from East St. Paul are planted
They're
poles.
right there, yeah.
They receive specific size and approval
Are they-
from the province.
Are the ones in East St. Paul, are they stationary or are they
Stationary.
movable? See, that's the difference.
And it's
One's
leading,
stationary.
and those are stationary related to school zone.
Yeah.
And as well as Provencher, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
And some of them are stationary related to speed zones,
great. Bless you.
sorry, speed cameras.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
go ahead, Sandra.
Last problem. Maybe we can just communicate that to our residents too, the one that we have there, so, because I've had calls saying, hey, it's not working.
Sure.
But now we know that it doesn't record, it's not recording every
It's-
speed that.
Right, but it's recorded the information,
Yeah.
so.
And realistically, it wasn't working there for a while. The power cord had been cut, and there was some electronic issues happening.
Okay, so that's that, so, I don't know, Heather.
I'll check.
Okay, maybe we'll do the accounts and then we'll see where we go from there, and Heather will let us know if, we're gonna have our lunch break.
So, resolve council approve the October 10th, 2023 list of accounts, check numbers 23001817 to 23001903 in the amount of $1,176,053.15 for payment.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Spicer, second, please. Counselor Sutherland, any discussion, questions, comments on the list of accounts? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, we have a couple of one grant request, I guess, and it is from Selkirk Biz regarding the Biz Awards.
Correct, for $300, Madam Mayor.
Right.
And we're recommending approval for the $300.
Any questions or comments? We can bring it forward.
Resolved council approve the following 2023 grant request at Selkirk Biz Annual Business Awards Community Spirit Award, 2023, $300.
Moved by Councillor Horbus, second Councillor Boulanger. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, and the Board of Revision.
Yes, the Board of Revision has informed us the date deadline has been moved to Tuesday, November 7th, and the hearing date to Wednesday, November 22nd. And so because of this, we're looking at bringing forward a resolution to adopt these new dates.
Any questions or comments? I see there was an error. Was that on the part of the paper or our error?
It was our error that was published originally, and then it's been corrected. That was
Okay.
based on last year's, as opposed to this year's.
Okay, and I would assume that the members of the board have been contacted and are able to still sit?
Correct.
Okay, anything else? You want to bring the resolution forward if there's one needed?
Resolve council rescind the resolution 2023-09 for setting the Board of Revision date of November 8th, 2023. Further be it resolved that council agreed to the date of November 22nd, 2023 at 9:30 p.m. for the Board of Revision for the 2024 assessment rolls, and if information is received in time, the added taxes under section 3261 of the Municipal Act. And further be it resolved that Alan Prue, Bruce A. McDonald, and Horst Welk sit on the Board of Revision members for the Board of Revision being held on November 22nd, 2023. And that further be it resolved, Horst Welk be appointed as the chair and Shannon Plischke be appointed as secretary of the board with Rose Asham as assistant secretary to the board. And further be it resolved that non-municipal board members be paid an honorarium of $150 each for the session.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second. Councillor Horbus, discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Come on in. Do you have other in canvas? Or do you want to move in canvas? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break, but we are gonna go in camera and have some of those discussions while we're having our break.
Resolve that council recess the regular meeting to go to in-camera to discuss legal and personnel issues, and further be it resolved that all matters discussed are to remain confidential as per section 83(1)(b) of the Municipal Act.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Sutherland, seconds. All those in favor, Opposed? Carried. Okay, we've got